Okay, so in the games component, we're taking a bunch of information. We're taking the games array. We're taking the inputs information. To be sure, I'm not even sure if inputs necessary if it's being used. Inputs. So I'm passing in inputs as a prop, but when I search here, I don't think inputs is being used. I think I can go ahead and just straight up delete that. Doesn't seem like my app breaks. Let me just double check. Yeah, that was a prop that's not being used. If I click on a game, if I go to a different page, okay, so inputs was redundant, or it was not. It was just an unused state. So let's delete that. Is fetch is also not being used. Yeah, there's no reason, because I think I was just deciding. Yeah, these are not being used. Page index that I need. So this saves the state of the page that you're currently on to the parent, so that when you scroll back, it's the state of the page is changed. So to demonstrate, let's say you're on page 7. Let's say you go back to page 7, the state is saved. And then what's get link? Get link. Okay, that was like a helper method I wanted to use to handle parameters of a route. But since I decided not to use that, so this is not needed yet either. So what is handle page? Okay, so handle page, why do I invoke it twice? So in the child component, I'm using handle page to call the parent component. Then why do I even need this? So invoking parent, and then just set state of the page number. I need to save state of. So, it's just grabbing the page index and then saving it to that number. So I think I can just, on page change, I can just type in this.props.handle page, and then I can just delete this method altogether. So I think that was like repeated code. If I search, okay, so let's say I flip a page. Let's say I'm on page 36. I click on a game, go back. The state is saved. Let's search for another player. Flip page. Okay, so this was redundant. Let's go over the games wrapper page first. So we have 3 states in games wrapper. We also have a 4th stage, the page index. For page index, we don't even need page index in the state because we're saving it in the parent, not the child. Okay, so we have this. Let me just double check one more time to see if it breaks. Click on 74 games. So the state is still saved. Okay, so in the parent component, we have this page index, which saves the states that we're on. And then in the games wrapper, we have per page, which is the number of games being displayed per page. And then we have and then we have this get pages method, which is just showing you how many pages there are. And then this method, it just shows you how many pages we have. So in this case, we have 85 pages. And then I added in this event handler, which allows you to press the arrow keys to flip the page. So yeah, here, if page index is not at the border, then you can flip the page. And then this method was made in the parent component. Pages. And then get pages is to set state to pages. And then the one library I used here was React-Paginate. And what this does is it allows you to paginate your games by pages. But why does it say NAN? Did I break this? I think I broke this, huh? Doesn't seem broken. Did I like... If I reach the border, click out, click back in, it's still there. If I click 1, 1 is gone, 2 is gone. So I broke the app somehow. Here, it's best I don't mess with this. So I need to figure this out later. So I'll just keep my code in its original state. If I click out, click back in, the state's still there. If I go to the last page, click again, go back, it's still there. Click page 1, it's still there. Go back, click. Since I don't want to break my code, let's try not to do... Am I using page index anywhere? This.props.page index. I'm not using page index. I'm not using page index anywhere, am I? This.props.page index, page index, page index, page index. Page index is an event. So it seems like I can just not use that at all. If I go back to page 1, it's still there. Okay, so this is not necessary. So now the question is, why do I have handle page here? This dot handle. Oh, I am invoking this. So it should be this dot props dot handle key. Or no, sorry, my bad. This dot. Am I invoking handle page? I'm invoking that on page change. So the question is, aren't these two doing the same thing? Because here I'm just passing handle page back to the parent component. It takes a number. So in this case, I see. This is bad naming. So instead of calling this handle page, what this does is it passes back an event, not a number. So I can just call this on page change so that I don't get confused. On page change. And then what this method does is it grabs the page index, which is the value from event selected from React-Paginate. So now if I were to click on a page here, they would always be valid. Okay. Yeah, so the library, so within Games Wrapper I have two components. Games, which takes the paginated pages, get paginated games. And this method I got off of the pagination tutorial from React-Paginate. So you just, what this does is it just passes back, since you saved the page index, it just passes back it just passes you 20 games of the games array. So it would pass, so on the first page you would get the slices from 0 to 19, and then the next slice would be 20 to 39. And then if you were on page 10, it would be the slices 100 to 119. Yeah, I still need to read a little more documentations on the paginate component library. Like this can look a little bit prettier, admittingly. I might decide to use another library altogether. But anyways, and then so within the games wrapper, we have this games component, which is these 20 games, these paginated games, which are the games you have here. So let's go into games, and then games is basically just a table. And from watching other people code, they usually leave their header, the table header, outside, because that way it doesn't get rendered again and again and again. But since we're also invoking, since state, what am I trying to say? Since the page index keeps changing, that still re-renders this page anyways. So the header gets re-rendered anyways. So I think it doesn't matter if I leave it outside or inside. But correct me if I'm mistaken. Okay, so games is just a stateless component which consists of the game. And then we're also prop drilling page index. I'm not exactly sure if I'm using all these methods. I assume there's a chance I'm not. Yeah, since these both are stateless, I think I'm gonna convert these into functional components in the future for practice. Okay, so page index is being used. So since get game number, why do I need get? Oh, so yeah, I need these to display the page that we're currently on. So key is always needed for mapped items. The game would just be the chess.com game object, which you've seen earlier. I'm not sure if I unconsole logged that. No, I haven't. So let's go back to API. Console.log. Oh, this is just to help. This is just for testing purposes. Console, that's also for testing purposes. Where did I console log? API 192. Maybe I didn't save it. Okay. So if let's clear screen and search. Okay, so there is no more console log. Good. Okay, so within the games component, we have a caption which just shows the page number we're on. Yeah, this shows the page number. And then there was like some really weird bug with when you're on index 0, it becomes -1. I didn't try to figure out why, but that was just the way React-Paginate. That was just like the logic they used. It was a little bit confusing, but through just like guess and checking, I figured out how to make this work. And then within game, we have these different functions, which displays, which is how the numbers, the index number, or the game number, the date, the time, the players. So as you can see here, if the name becomes too long, I just add in like 3. I just add in 3 dots. So here, instead of just clumping all the logic into the view, I decided to use separation of concerns and set the logic here. So get game number would just be whatever operation I use, or like trim long name, I just add 3 dots if it's over like 10 characters. Get date, I just convert the date to this format. And then the one thing I hard coded was, or 2 things. Get time control, since I don't know what the time looks like from chess.com sometimes. So like for blitz games, for like blitz, even like 30-minute games, they just give you like a number. So the number here would be like 3600. And then there's also other like, I don't know like what else they would pass back. So if it passes back something like 1/259,200, I would just, or in this case, I called it slow. I think more specifically, it's like a 3-day game. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you have 3 days to make a move, and it seems like you have more time than that. But I just decided to return that value, and this is something I need to take care of in the future, since it's more like a black box to me at this point in time. And the last thing I need to work on is our abortions. So right now, in the object, it doesn't say who won the object does not say who won the game. Or it does, but specifically, 2 objects are passed back. It would be, the objects passed back would be white and black, and within white, it would say how white won, like through resignation or checkmate, or black through like resignation or checkmate. So I had to manually figure out the logic there. I guess I can. It's easier to show with an example. I just don't want to. Sure, let's show an example. So let's console.log response.body.games, and then let's fetch a player. So we get this. Let's look at a game. So within game, you see that it doesn't say who won. If it does say who won, you can get like, you have this black and you have this white result, or black and white properties, which is an object. And then under black, you have result win. And then under white, you have result resigned. And then this can kind of alternate, which is a little bit confusing. So here you have black resigned and white win. So I'm not sure if I captured all the edge cases, but I think this captures like most. Maybe it did capture all edge cases, but I'm not sure what it would look like if, say, a game was aborted, or say someone like, if say someone aborted, or someone like, either way, either way, someone did win. So if it says white result was a win, so if white did win, if white result was win, then it's 1-0 obviously. Else if black result equal win, then black won. And if neither of that is true, then so meaning that, so I assume no matter what, a win is always described in either white.result or black.result. And if neither win is described in white.result or black.result, then the only conclusion I can come with was that the game was ended in a draw. And if this is not true, I think at least this captures like most, like pretty much all cases. Like maybe there are a few edge cases I haven't captured. And I guess in time I will be able to tell. Okay, so now that everything's populated, this is where the state of the application ends, and the way to begin operation again is to click on a game. So on game click, when you click on a game, you go. This will invoke the grandparents or great grandparents function, and this game will set states by passing the chess object and result object. And then once that is done, it will also navigate, and navigate uses the use navigate method from use router or from React Router DOM. I couldn't directly invoke this in a class component, so through Stack Overflow, it tells me that I need to wrap this method around app in order to invoke those props. Okay, so once a game is clicked, handle game gets invoked, and then once handle games gets invoked, or handle game click gets invoked, and once handle game click gets invoked, this is the last part of our application, which and also the biggest part of our application. It navigates us towards the board component, and as you can see here, where is our board? We pass in chess.com and result, and then the board. I will talk about the game component in the next segment.